Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into it.
The power system of the injector engine is so complex that diagnosing the cause of unstable engine idling can take a lot of time. Things are even more unfortunate for owners of cars with a diesel engine. After all, the diagnosis and repair of the diesel cycle requires more specialized knowledge and tools. Let's consider the reasons why the internal combustion engine trots at idle speed. Method for finding the cause. Trojan, the mode of engine operation, in which in one cylinder or alternately in several cylinders, combustion of the fuel-air mixture is incorrect or absent. List of reasons that can lead to unstable operation of the injector internal combustion engine. Too little or too much fuel is supplied to the cylinder. Fuel is supplied too early or too late. In the second case, there may be pops, shots in the exhaust pipe. The ECU receives unreliable data on the amount of air entering the intake manifold. As a result, excessive jumps in values lead to unstable engine operation. No spark or very weak spark. Spark is either too early or too late. Insufficient compression to compress the TPVS. The ECU sends incorrect signals to the actuators. The main difficulty in determining why the internal combustion engine trots at idle speed is that to each of the above consequences, with equal probability, can lead to malfunctions of several units and assemblies at once. What is needed to diagnose the internal combustion engine with your own hands? To detect the cause of the tethering of an internal combustion engine with a carburetor power system, a multimeter and a compressometer will be enough. If the problem is not in the ignition system, the timing mechanism and the cylinder, you will need skills in adjusting the carburetor. Knowledge of the permissible wear of parts of the gasoline pump and carburetor. A pneumatic tester will be an extremely useful device. It is better to start the inspection of an injector engine and a modern diesel engine with computer diagnostics. Reading errors will most likely narrow down the range of possible malfunctions. But it is not necessary to put excessive hopes on computer diagnostics. After all, there are cases when the engine is moving, but there are no current errors in the system. For diagnostics of modern cars in the area of driver's legs, there is an OBD2 socket. In cars of earlier years of production, the diagnostic connector may be located in the underhood space. The type of adapter and software for connecting to the ECU depends on the model of the control unit and the type of diagnostic connector. Even the simplest single-point injection systems from the early 90s have self-diagnostics. Before reading errors, it is recommended to reset the control unit to 0 in order not to be misled by errors previously stored in the system. Step by step, let's consider the method of identifying the cause of unstable operation of the gasoline engine. Checking the ignition system. How to check the ignition system if the engine is running at idle? Unscrew the spark plugs. Check the gap between the electrodes. The nominal value is specified in the repair and operating manual of your car. The spark plug should be free of thick oily deposits and soot. Pay attention to the presence of electrode erosion, indicating excessive spark plug wear. The electrode should not be cracked. Also without cracks should be the ceramic insulation. Check resistance, integrity of insulation of high-voltage wires. The wire should be tightly fixed on the spark plug, have no oxides in the places of connectors. Check the coil, distributor interrupter ignition, if any, in the design of the ignition system of your car. Pay attention to the contacts of the trembler cover, they should not be charred. Adjust the ignition timing, if necessary. In the connectors of the circuit from the battery to the ignition coil should not be oxides. Check the condition of the wiring. Fuel supply system in a carburetor power system, the cause may be as follows: violation of idle speed regulation by the quality and quantity screws of TPVS, insufficient fuel level in the float chamber, failure of the electromagnetic valve, air inflow resulting in lean mixture, clogging of channels and nozzles of the idling system, clogging of the filter element in the tank, fine filter or strainer in the carburetor, malfunction of the gasoline pump. Mechanical part to the appearance of vibrations, unstable operation can lead, violation of the tightness of the combustion chamber. Due to the burning of valves, the formation of soot, preventing a tight fit of the valves to the seats. The internal combustion engine trots at idle speed and in the entire range of operation, if there was a blowout of the cylinder head gasket. Incorrect setting of the timing marks. The timing mechanism plays one of the most important roles in selecting the timing of spark and fuel supply. If the marks are off, the ECU will not understand the position of the pistons, and the valves will open and close untimely. Often the marks are misaligned due to a stretched belt or timing chain jumping. If the marks have been returned to the correct position, and the engine still ticks at idle, the valves are bent due to the impact of the pistons. ECU. If all the above elements have been checked, and the cause of failure of one cylinder is not found, it remains to sin on the sensor. Equipment, wires from sensors to ECU and from ECU to the executive mechanisms, as well as on the electronic engine control unit itself. The greatest influence on the engine operation have crankshaft position sensor, DPKV. A characteristic feature of a malfunction of the DPKV, difficulties with starting the engine, often interruptions in operation begin only after the engine warms up. DMRV, which registers the amount of air entering the intake manifold. Do not forget that the DMRV can be deceived by the presence of air suction, which the ECU will not be taken into account when supplying fuel. Lambda probe, which sends data to the ECU for TPMS correction. Do not forget about non-standard causes of Trojan. If the car trots only after driving through deep puddles, there is a leak in the supply of any of the main sensors. Often the engine begins to Trojan after improper washing of the underhood space with a Kircher. Less often the cause will be hidden in the ECU itself. What is included in the repair of the internal combustion engine? How to return the car to the car dealership. Multimeter instructions. Adjusting the gap on the spark plug malfunctions. Photo the result of washing the injector's flow meter.